We are here to talk about Kenya before multi-party democracy. Welcome, Jasmine. Asanteni sana, Mike Ondonye, niko hapa na Gen Zs.
Yeah. Karibuni sana, Sindo Gen Z, and our special guest is Dr. Mike Ondonye.
Yeah.
Karibuni sana.
Asante.
Ukoaje daktari?
Ko poa.
Uko poa?
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah, long time, but I'm here now.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, this is the first time we are hosting while we are many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are mixed of both the ladies and us, the gentlemen.
Yeah, because I need to narrate. I need to do a narrative of the Kenya before and after Multiparty. Of course, I don't know whether by the time we are talking of Multiparty, none of you was born. And we also want to talk, of course, the past, the present, and the future. So the past you may not understand, but you know the other one,
The present.
And then we will talk about the future.
The future that we don't know also about.
Yes, but we can predict. If we know the past, we can predict the future.
That's why you are here in this show today.
Yeah.
Take us through the past.
Okay. Okay, of course, we are talking about the Kenya before and after Multiparty. Why that is important is because during what we call Multiparty, they used to call it the second liberation. Guess what was the first liberation?
The independence.
The independence. So liberation from the Muzungus, or independence from the colonialists, and then the second one, independence from what now they were calling the post-colonial imperialism, or now internal rule that Kenyans thought before 1990 that there was like internal colonialism. So they used to call it neo-colonialism. Yeah, so we are going to trace issues of elections because in Kenya gained independence, of course, in 1963.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and of course, from there we had some elections. I don't know whether you are aware of the first elections that were happening before. Yeah, after 1963, did we have elections?
Yes, we did.
Which ones?
I just know there was the Mulolongo system.
Yeah, the Mulolongo. Of course, when we gained independence in 1963, there was no election. Actually, starting 1964, now Kenya became a single party state. Actually, under the elections were primarily limited, and there was no competition. And from, of course, that changed in 1992 onwards. And of course, between 1964 and 1988, Kenya was a one-party state. And one-party state means we were only ruled by one party, KANU, which was an official party. And of course, in 1964, 1969, 1974, 1979, 1983, and 1998. Of course, if you talk about 1964 to 1978, President Jomo Kenyatta was the president. And President Kenyatta was never subjected to any election. Elections were happening in parliament. Or someone would just decide to declare president, elect again. Yeah. And then from 1979, of course, to 1991, that is when now we also had Moi also enjoying the privileges of one party state. So KANU party ilikuwa KANU peke yake. Yeah, so hakukuwa na elections. Elections were done primarily in parliament. And there was no direct vote for president. KANU candidates ran unopposed and were endorsed by parliament. Yeah. So, but remember, what we should ask ourselves, during this one party, how many years were those? 1988 minus 1964. 20 years. So the question we should ask ourselves, didn't we have other people who wanted to be president?
They were there.
Like, okay. Of course, there were other people. Of course, Oginga Ondinga was one of them. Tomboya was another one. So Kenya became a republic, of course, remember, in December 1964. And of course, Jomo Kenyatta was elected unopposed by parliament. And no other candidate was allowed to contest. Whether you had the dream or not, the presidency was not yet subject to direct public vote. So from independence to 1988, actually call it 1991, there was nothing like public participation in electing president.
So there was no need for elections.
There were no elections to elect president.
There was no IEBC at that particular time.
Maybe it was there for these other seats, but not for president.
Oh, okay.
Remember, we still had MPs.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
have a question. What if, so you said it's a one-party state, maybe it's just the one single party.
Yeah.
So what if akungekuwa na instance in kuna two people who want the presidency within the same party?
You were not allowed to want. Leave alone. One party state means when we say no other candidate was allowed, it means you were not allowed to want.
Even within the party.
Even within the party.
So what do your president Minyako step down and
unless, and that is what was happening. And in 1966, remember, there was Jaramogi Oginga Ondinga who broke away from KANU and formed Kenya People's Union, KPU. So in 1966, within the system, Jaramogi Oginga Ondinga, who was actually the first vice president, remember, he served only for 2 years, from 1964 to 1966. So he formed KPU, of course, and though this was a parliamentary by-election, it was a closest Kenya came to a presidential challenge before Multiparty. And KPU won more votes than KANU in some regions, but they won fewer seats due to electoral design. So there was still an election, but not presidential, but Oginga Odinga managed to have some people running against KANU in some parts of the country. And of course, KPU won more votes than KANU in some regions, but they were fewer seats due to electoral design of that time.
So he just won.
Just one Ali beat KANU in some few regions. Not in presidency. Presidency, he was not supposed to imagine that he can become president. And then between 1969 and 1968, okay, Kenya was declared a de jure one-party state. What de jure means is that it was by law. There are two terms there: de jure and de facto.
Okay.
De facto means in fact. So before 1969, Kenya was de facto one-party state. It means it was not put in law. It was not passed in parliament. But from 1969, it became by law. Now it became law that we only have one party. And I think that was important at that particular time. Yes.
So Jaramogi Oginga's party
now was outlawed, and I think he was detained. KANU was the only legal party, and the presidential elections were symbolic endorsements. In 1969, 1974, 1979. Okay? Of course, before 1979, Kenyatta died in 1978. And then Daniel Arap Moi became
the president.
the president. Akashikilia. Alikuwa anashikilia. That is why you have ever heard people saying he was termed as a passing cloud.
Shikilia because he was the vice president.
He was the vice president. Yes. And then in 1983, 1988, Moi was re-elected now through Mulolongo, Q voting, and the party endorsement. Of course, during this time, people would go and queue and they would be counted. So there was no secret ballot. So munakaa hapa, wewe unaonekana na chief uko pale kwa ile wewe uko kwa mstari mwingine, unajua utaona moto maybe. Kwa nini hauko kwa line?
So at that time there was another party.
Of course the candidates not Mulolongo for president. Remember there was nothing like you can imagine to be
A president.
But for these other seats MPs now kulikuwa na Mulolongo. But of course even with that kulikuwa tu na Mulolongo ya KANU.
Ya Moi.
Yes, lazima zinge.
And what was the essence of him being elected?
That is why it is called endorsement. That is why it was symbolic endorsement. It was symbolic endorsement.
They were just doing the elections for the other seats.
Election for other seats, but there was still a Mulolongo ya
Mzee Moi.
By then hakuwa mzee Moi, alikuwa jenzi wakati huo. Remember? Yeah. So alikuwa anaitwa Nyayo. Yeah, but that was what the law said. And if you read the history well, there are three things. No presidential challenges were permitted. Any dissenting voices were either detained, like Oginga Odinga, okay, and like Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, Ngugi wa Thiong'o, those who challenged president, or they were co-opted. They were merged like KANU. KANU was merged into KANU. KANU belonged to Ronald Ngala. And then there was they are also silenced through constitutional amendment. So the laws were made.
So they would implement a constitution, a part of a constitution to silence those.
Yeah, to silence you. Yeah.
To stop.
Yeah.
So,
and then of course.
So it's possible that tumesema prior ilikuwa it wasn't made legally that ni one party state.
Yeah, before 1969.
So now when it was made legal, it was also part
now
of
you can detain them. Now you can detain them. Yeah, because you could not detain them without a law. That is why in 1969 it became a de jure one party state. Before 1969, for 5 years, for 5 years, Kenya ran as a de facto one-party state. It means it was not written anywhere, so you could not take anyone to court. And that is why now when Oginga Odinga formed KPU, they realized this man is likely to start disrupting the status quo. Yeah, and then of course, as we have said, KANU was which was lent by Ronald Ngala, because there are people who wanted to be presidents. One of them was Ronald Ngala. He had a party, KDU. Having a party means you are aspiring to be president. And that is why even today we still say there is no way you can say you are aspiring to be a president without a party. Ronald Ngala and a party, and it was absorbed into KANU. Because at that particular point, Moi was actually deputy leader and the key architect of KANU. And it was talking about Majimbo.
Majimbo is it?
Yes. Majimbo was something that looked like the counties today.
So how did Moi get out of KANU and now to KANU?
Now, when KANU merged, KANU now merged with
KANU.
It co-opted KANU, and now Moi became deputy. Yeah.
So when he became president, he became the ruling party again.
Yeah, when he became president because he was already the vice president. Okay. And then now he inherited the presidency from Kenyatta for some time before another election was done. And then another person. So there were people who hampered presidential dreams. One of them was Ronald Ngala. But how did they deal with him? He was absorbed together with his party into KANU, and his deputy was Moi. And then another one was Masinde Muliro. Masinde Muliro was Secretary General and influential voice for minority representations. And that was when KANU was formed in 1960 as a counterweight to KANU, of course. And it was dominated by larger ethnic groups like the Kikuyu and Luo. So Kikuyus and Luos started together in 1960.
We have a long history.
So even when you see them being enemies, I think enmity came later. KANU's mission was to defend the interests of minority communities. Okay? And of course, KANU, as I have said, KANU was Kikuyu Luo. KANU was now for the minority like the Kamatusa, the Kalenjin, Maasai, Turkana, and Samburu. And so Kalenjins were in KANU. Sijui waliachania wapi na watu wa Coast, walikuwa pamoja. And that is why Moi was in KANU. Now you understand.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Then KANU was initially having a lot of attraction, but it emerged with the KANU in 1964. Making the beginning of Kenya's one-party era. And Ronan Ngala remained a respected statesman until his untimely death in 1972. Alikaa tu akiwa. Now,
president.
Angekuwa alive kwa sababu angekuwa amezeeka kabisa. Ukiona alikuwa na challenge mzee, inamaanisha walikuwa almost the same age. So in short, what are we saying? We are saying even when there was one party state, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga was aspiring to be president. Tom Mboya was aspiring to be president. And remember, at that particular moment, he wanted to reform from within. Tom Mboya was within the government. And of course, he was assassinated in 1969. Before Kenya became one party de jure. And he is said to have been an opponent and a very staunch, he was a staunch follower of Kenyatta. He was an enemy to Oginga Odinga. Tom Mboya and Oginga Odinga were fighting for the Luo kingpinship. So that is not new. And Charles Rubia and Kenneth Matiba in 1980s, they came on board. And of course, there was Martin Shikuku. He was a very former vocal MP who later was detained and joined Ford in 1990s. Now, what are we talking about? Before Multiparty, in 1990s, there were very good signs that Kenya was ready for a change. Remember, in between 1964 and 1969, those 2 years after independence, Oginga Odinga revolted. And that was the first sign that there was need for a change. And that is when Oginga Odinga said, not yet Uhuru. And he has a book to that name. And Kenya started now having some destabilization politically. But how did they deal with that destabilization? They decided to make one party state a law so that they blocked
any other party.
But now, immediately after Kenyatta died, Moi took over. Something happened that also now showed that one party state was not going to work. And in 1982, there was the first coup against President Moi.
Led
by of course, some Raila Odinga confessed that he was one of the people who were masterminding it. And of course, there is now the popular guy, the guy who was the last person kunyongwa hii country. Unakumbuka alikuwa anaitwa nani? The guy who led the 1982 coup.
Anaitwa Jasmine. Gen Z.
Unamjua lakini ukumbuki.
Hebu mtu text ni nani bana? Gen Z hatujui hizi vitu bana. Tuambie.
Alikuwa anaitwa Ojuka.
Mkule juu. Okay.
You can Google as you continue. But when he was actually the last person to be, what do you call it? Kunyongwa kunaitwa aje?
Hanging.
To face the hangman in Kenya. Since then, atunyongi watu.
Yeah.
And of course, there was now that awakening that I think we need a change. One party state is not working for us. Of course, there was some other pressure. There was pressure from outside, what was happening in other countries. And Kenya now moved through 1998, trying to think it through. And of course, that is why when Ochuka and the other people were eliminated, of course, because they walifunja sheria. So it had nothing to do with, it had everything to do with they broke the law, and that was there. Yeah, so I think they were convicted of treason. Yeah. Ezekiel, yeah. The guy who went to the KBC and announced, I am now the president.
Yeah, the time you Voice of Kenya.
Yeah. Now, so there were very good signs that Kenya was ready, was ripe for multiparty. And then now, by 1988, by the time elections were now done again in 1988, there were a lot of people who were now revolting against the government. And now they were headed now to 1992 elections, right? And there was a lot of pressure, both from inside and also from outside, for the government to repeal that article that made Kenya a one-party state. So that now they can have a multi-party. So in 1998, in 1992, that is when now the first multi-party presidential election was done. And remember, after multi-party, Kenya has held 4 general elections. It held 4 general elections before that. How many elections were held before while Kenya was one-party state?
1.
They were
Before.
many. Yes. So, okay, find out how many they were, because there were many elections. But after, in 1992, that is when we had the first multi-party presidential election. And guess what? In that election, there was Daniel Arap Moi under KANU, Kenneth Matiba for Ndasili, Mwai Kibaki, DP, and Jaramogi Oginga Odinga formed Kenya, and then there were other people. And Moi won by 36.3%.
At the time, hakukuwa na hiyo 50+1.
No, 50+1 came with the 2010 constitution. So
So
Moi won with 36. Actually, the winning was by minority vote. Yeah. So the one who has the highest number of votes is the leader, is the winner. And Moi won by 3,584,000. Of course, 356,000. Of course, that was 36%, 36.3%. He was followed by Kenneth Matiba, 14.2. Mwai Kibaki, okay, who had less, of course. DP, I don't know now, in 1992, I think the results were zilikuwa zinakanganya kidogo, and then Jaramogi Oginga Odinga was number 3. So still there was Kibaki and the 2 Kikuyus ahead. of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. And of course, in 1997, Daniel Arap Moi again won by 40.6%, followed by Mwai Kibaki. By then, Matiba was out. Matiba was out. And then there was now an entry of Baba.
For the first time now.
Now, Oginga died in 1994. Kenneth Matiba became sick. So they were not in this ballot. Yeah. So Oginga Odinga died. And then, of course, now there was Daniel Arap Moi, Mwai Kibaki, and Raila Odinga.
So the first time for Raila.
It was the first time for Baba now to go to the ballot after his father died.
The time alikuwa youth.
But he had actually formed his own party, the NDP.
Okay.
Yeah. So he never went to elections based on his father's political party. So you can see for the Kenya was not there. Then at that particular time, there was another thing that happened. Even after multi-party democracy, Kenyans realized it is not easy to beat KANU. Another thing they realized is that KANU was winning because all of them were contesting. So their votes together, if they were to come together, okay, they would have won against Moi.
Join the effort.
Yes, because it means if Moi in 1992 won by 36%, the others obtained how much? What percentage combined?
16.
74. 36. 100 minus 36. 64%.
Yeah.
So them combined, they earned 64% of the votes. Moi earned that, and he won. So if they were to come together, they would win against him.
Yeah.
And then in 1997, the same. He won by 40%. That means 60% was with the others.
The other part.
So they came to realize something is not right here. If we have to remove KANU, we have to unite. And that is why in 2002, the first coalition was formed against KANU, NAC. So they came together now and they said, no, we are not going to divide the votes. We are going to come together and have a majority of the votes and present the president. And they came together and they formed NAC. And then they said Kibaki is our candidate. Kibaki was not even aware. But why did that happen? President Moi was a political professor. After 1997 election, he looked around and realized he can have the 10% votes, 11% from Raila Odinga. So he absorbed Raila Odinga into KANU in preparation for 2002. So Raila even became the Secretary General for KANU. Yeah. And then he told them, come, baby, come, 202. But he made one mistake. In 2002-2001, when he was now expected to name, because Raila was thinking, mzee amezeeka kwa hivyo, acha niingie hivi, ili 202 nikuwe endorsed. You understand? During that time, there was still other people who were within KANU and they were eyeing presidency. One of them was Saitoti and Kalonzo Musyoka. And Mudavadi, actually, when Saitoti, actually it is Mudavadi who was now made vice president. But there was a shock because when Moi came now to name his successor, he named a young person whom they never thought he would. He named Uhuru Kenyatta. And they now naming Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila walked away. Last any other person. He was second with that 1%. It means if they never united, I want you to go back to 1997. The one who would have come closer to him was Kibaki. He would have won. And 2002 gave birth now to the power of coalitions. Okay, now in revolutions were now quick because Kibaki said he is going to deliver a new constitution. But around 2004, he was not playing to the gallery of politics. Around immediately after he was elected in 2003, his deputy died. His vice president, Kijana Wamalwa. And now the death of Kijana Wamalwa caused another tension that would change now another course. Because when Kijana Wamalwa died, now Baba was there. Ni mimi nilisema wewe tosha. Kalonzo was there. Ni mimi nina Saili. Yule mwingine was there. So when Kibaki went to another person, they were hungry. They left. Yes, because now you see the expectations. They expected Kibaki because they actually, they picked Kibaki from an accident scene and made him president. In fact, when Kibaki was sworn, alikuwa amewekewa mguu. I don't know whether you have ever seen. He never campaigned. So according to Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, Kaluki Ngilo, the likes of Balala, powerful people who were there, they hoped. Now it is our time, choose among us. But he went to Vunyula, chose someone they don't know to be his vice president. They became hungry. And all of them started complaining, and Moi sacked them. Now Kibaki sacked them. And when he sacked them, they seen as it tutakuonyesha. Si tunatayarisha katiba ya 205 tunaiangusha. And that is where they went to vote Chungwa. Yeah. So by that time, they became hungry. The death of Kijana Wamalwa was a turnaround in Kibaki's, because he never selected these people who helped him to become president when he was on a wheelchair.
So they felt like they were betrayed.
Betrayal.
They were betrayed, and then they said, na sisi tutakuonyesha katiba hii unasema utatengeneza, hautatengeneza ati upate sifa. So they formed ODM Kenya. So there was the by-election, the referendum in 2005, which was now under Kivuitu. And Kivuitu and you alisema, those people who are going to vote, we are going to have only 2 votes, yes and no. Yes, Dizi. No, Chungwa. And now there was the Chungwa movement, the Orange Democratic movement, which was against the... Not that the draft was bad, but they wanted to punish Kibaki and show him kwamba Malenge ni mboga. But now within Chungwa, there arose another division. Because now that is when now we start, there was now, the country was politically heated. And we saw the first political polling. And there was a political pollster, ilikuwa inaitwa Steadman. So they would rank who would, if elections were done today, who would be elected. So there was Kalonzo, Balala, blah, blah, blah. Raila huku chini, na Kibaki huku chini. So no one would think Kibaki was very unpopular. When they came to vote, to poll now against, for the outcome of the referendum, no was ahead.
The Chungwa won.
Yes. And of course, at that particular time, something else happened. Kalonzo Musyoka, I think, in collaboration with a lawyer called Maanzo, they went and registered ODM Kenya as a party. It seemed they never informed akina baba. So akakaa nayo. So Kalonzo akakaa nayo. Ako kwa ODM lakini anajua I am being preferred. So after the referendum, now these people now started having now the tension. Nani atakuwa president 2007 because now Kibaki is done. And at that particular time, now there was now that insider infiltration within the ODM Kenya. Of course, when Kalonzo registered ODM Kenya with Maanzo, Raila Odinga realized, took Gitobu Imanyara. Gitobu Imanyara went and registered ODM chungwa moja. This other one undercover, all of them undercover. And then they continued campaigning ODM. And then come the time they went to the boardroom kuchagua ni nani atakuwa presidential candidate. Pollster inasema Kalonzo Musyoka. Steadman. Wakakuja wakasema ni baba. Kalonzo akasema hapana. Haiwezi kuwa, na ikiwa itakuwa mtafute party ingine.
Akatoka na yake Kenya.
Hapo anajua kama hii
kuna ODM mingine
sasa akasema okay, unajua hii party ni yangu. Akauliza which party? ODM Kenya. Akaambiwa no. Tusemi mambo ya ODM Kenya. Kuna ODM chungwa moja. Unjipange. So he moved away with another lady alikuwa anaitwa Julio Jambo. So they went and hungry and frustrated. They trying to run about, wakaambiwa hapana. We have another party called ODM. Hii ni ODM. Hii yenu ni ODM Kenya. So, what are you telling us? So walichezana hapo. And that is why Kalonzo Musyoka became hungry. Na akasema nitapita katikati yao. That is why I say Kalonzo now ran kuharibia Raila Odinga. If they stayed together, it would have been so easy for Raila. Unajua kuna vote huwezi iba. Lakini kuna difference ingine kidogo. So of course that, if you look at that transformation from 202 to 207, you can understand now why people fought. Because now when it came to 207 December, because elections were before then held in December, watu walikuwa wanaenda Christmas wakisherekeanga ushindi, ama munaenda kumoon, unakula chapati na kuku. So when it happened, there was no other way, but the country was in chaos. The first person to join the government was Kibaki now, to immediately be sworn in and appointed Kalonzo Musyoka, who was number 3, as his vice. And now hell continued now breaking. Now, by law, there was nothing that we could do. Kofi Annan had to come. Okay? And another guy alikuwa anaitwa John Kufuor. They had to come and do mediation. Okay?
Yeah.
And they had now to have another position established for Baba.
Nusu mkate.
Yes. Prime Minister position was now formed. Na akapewa hiyo. Now the question was, who is number 2? Vice ama Baba? Prime Minister. So they fought throughout. So, and then of course now, because they were together, they were able now to work out the new constitution again. Mpaka 2010, sasa kukafanywa referendum. And they formed a committee of experts which was constituted of people from both sides. Yeah, and the katiba tukapewa. But now there was another tension towards katiba. Baba, wakiwa na Kalonzo, decided we also have competitors. So according to us, the person mwenye angepelekwa ICC alikuwa Baba. Acha majina itoke. Baba yuko. The Ocampo 7 ilikuwa na akina Ruto, Uhuru Kenyatta. All the people who have the power to become, wote wakapelekwa ICC. And now they started blaming that ni nyinyi mnatupeleka ICC. So remember, at one particular time, Ruto was sacked. Uhuru, who was finance minister, okay? At one particular time, he was also sacked. So they were now ready to face the ICC wafungwa maisha. Sasa baba na Kalonzo wakakuja pamoja. Au majamaa waende. Acha waende. And Kalonzo and Raila stopped fighting now. Because now they saw very clearly. Rais ni Raila Odinga, vice ni mimi.
Ni Kalonzo.
And then wakasukuma juu Kibaki anamaliza. Kibaki at that time he was not even interested. He was nonchalant about whatever. He was serving his last term. He has given us the constitution. So 2011, 2012, it was Baba and Kalonzo wakisema watu waliufanya watu wauane waende huko. Sasa Ruto became hungry because according to Ruto, he was fighting for Baba. Even he was fighting. They were saying, I was not in the ballot.
Yeah.
People were fighting because Baba was, he was the one. Naambua, now Campo, we are looking at those who are directly responsible. And then now there was a Campo 7. Of course, they went for the first trial. They exonerated some. They were left with the few ones. Of course, at the end of it, they were around 3, which was William Ruto, Uhuru Kenyatta, and of course, Kosgei. This guy was a Kass FM journalist. So people would wonder, where is Uhuru Kenyatta coming? He looks like he cannot harm anyone. But this person, we need just to have them there. And then, fortunately or unfortunately, the constitution was new. It never contemplated that. Yeah, but there was no law that was barring them from contesting presidency. Then Ruto na Uhuru wakarealize tuko mahali pamoja. We have the same problem. Tunaenda ICC pamoja kwa ndege moja. Si tushindane na hawa watu. So they formed, and they were reformists. So they formed Jubilee.
TNA. Oh, TNA was Uhuru's?
Yeah, TNA, now Uhuru went TNA, and Ruto and URP.
Yeah.
So they merged and they formed the Jubilee coalition. Jubilee means the year of Jubilee.
Yeah.
Remember,
that was in 2013.
That was in 2013. So the year of Jubilee is the year of renewal. It's the year of forgiveness. Yeah? And then with something very compelling, the digital analog narrative. And they said, our akina Raila, akina Kalonzo, they are analog. Sisi ni digital. And they said, sisi tukichaguliwa hivi, kila mwanafunzi, laptop. Akina baba pale wanasema, sisi tuliwapea constitution. You know, even before that something had happened, during the referendum, Ruto akakuwa kwa no. Yes. Ruto akashikana na church. Wakavuti no. Pamoja na Rift Valley yote. Actually 60% of the Rift Valley voted no against the constitution. Yeah. So Ruto akajipima akaona hapa hii kitu tunaweza toa nayo. Yeah. But he was not presidential material, so he had to bring in Uhuru, who had the power to become because he had the name and he had the money also. Yeah. And out of that, they just won the elections. And the person who was the CJ was just a very honest man, Willy Mutunga. He said they have won. They tried to go to court. Akashinda Baba na Kalonzo. Yeah. They healed later.
Akina Baba says.
Yeah. So now in 202, of course, in 207, the elections were disputed. But it was said that Mwai Kibaki won by 46%, Raila Odinga 44%, and others combined, they got the rest of the percentages. But remember, this election was disputed. Of course, another factor that came here in 207 was Tharaka Nithi. I don't know whether you have ever heard of Tharaka Nithi. Tharaka Nithi is a place where votes came from to make Kibaki winner. All the polling stations were counted except Tharaka Nithi. The margin was so big that people knew Tharaka Nithi votes as it abadisha anything. Then Raila started celebrating. When Tharaka Nithi votes arrived, hey.
Was that realistic? Kama kuna kamchezo kalichezo hapo pia.
When the Tharaka Nithi votes arrived at night and they were added, they did not even imagine. Yeah. So it was like that. So Tharaka Nithi factor. That's why you would hear during elections the issue of Tharaka Nithi, because these votes came. And Tharaka Nithi has no votes. But Kibaki now was sworn. At night. And that is why when the committee of experts were crafting, committee of experts were led by the one Justice Zamba Kitonga. They said, you cannot swear a president. You have to swear the president between a certain time. After 4, you cannot swear in the president. So swearing in must happen during the day. They were reacting to that. Yeah,
it's usually done, I think, on Tuesday, the first Tuesday of the...
Yeah, whichever. Tuesday is neither here, but the time was because of that, because Kibaki was sworn at around between 6 and around 9. So no one knows the time when he was sworn, but he was sworn at night, sworn in at night, and it never went very well. Okay, of course, the results of 2007 led to post-election violence, and then after the 2010 constitution, of course, we have held how many elections? 3.
3 elections.
2013, 2017, 2022. That means the next coming election will be the 4th election after the 2010 constitution. Now, of course, in 2013, Uhuru won by 50 plus 07. Remember, you are supposed to win by 50 plus 1. It's not 50 plus 1%. It's 50% plus 1 vote.
One evening.
Yes, 1 vote. Yeah. It's not at the 50 plus 1%. No, it is 50% plus 1 vote. Yeah, now you become president. Yeah. So you won by so you won by 50.07%, and Raila Odinga with the code 43.31%. Of course, in 2017, the election was annulled by 1 Maraga. And Raila Odinga said, I'm not participating. So that was not determined. But remember here, because the reason why we are saying we have a looming revolution is this. Because let's read the signs since 2017. After 2017, Uhuru Kenyatta would co-opt Raila Odinga into his government. And when they were together, they started wanting to change the constitution through a BBI. You remember BBI? They wanted to change the constitution. That is the first labor pains that should tell you Kenya is headed to another revolution. Okay, the parliament voted. Of course, it was later cancelled and annulled by the Supreme Court. And then we came to 2022 elections. William Ruto is elected, and immediately he co-opts Raila Odinga. What are they doing? Immediately, they bring about the 2024 finance bill, and the Gen Zs are up. Okay? And now we have created a day in June where Gen Zs are commemorating the BBI. The cost of living is high, okay? And the Gen Zs are restless, and now we are talking about legacy politicians. We are talking about Gen Zs who are thinking differently together with the millennials. That tells you we are not going far with this constitution. That tells you we are ripe for a revolution. And then, of course, all of a sudden, Raila Odinga is in the government. Gachagua is out, but something else is happening. Raila Odinga is planning now to endorse William Ruto in 2027. So he is not running. And ODM is getting divided. That tells you Kenya needs another revolution, because what will happen after 2027? People are talking about William Ruto. We have never had so strong presidential candidate like William Ruto. William Ruto's victory did two things. One, it removed leadership from what he used to call dynasties. Okay?
Yeah.
The presidency is still within the two communities who have been presidents since independence, the Kikuyu and Kalenjin.
The Kalenjin.
But while the presidency was remaining in those two communities, it also was remaining within the dynasties, apart from Kibaki, who was an outsider. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, William Ruto comes in. He is within the community, but he removed now leadership from the dynasties. It means we are remaining with one handle to jump. To remove now presidency from the two communities to another community. And that is expected, that is what is expected. Ruto is likely not to leave leadership within the Kalenjin or Kikuyu community.
Hand it over to
Which tribe?
so you can see.
Now we need to understand this. In 2032, we will have nothing like communities. And that is why the uprising of Gen Z and millennials are coming now to talk about being tribeless. Because there will be no consideration of tribe. Of course, we have already jumped the dynasties. Yeah. Because it means Raila Odinga will not be in the ballot. Kenyatta will not be in the ballot. Tumemalizana na wao. And then, of course, there is the Moi family. I don't think they will be in the ballot. If they will be in the ballot, well, but I don't think.
And we are also likely to see the rise
and
of...
they are busy doing some other things. They are not interested.
We're also likely to see the rise of young leaders, maybe.
So we are likely to see the rise of young leaders who are tribeless. And by 2032, leave alone 2027. Because 2027 is going now to have all the legacy politicians join together. Because if they don't join, they will be kicked out. So they have no option but to join together to retain power. And that is why Ruto is likely to go back, talk to Uhuru Kenyatta, talk to Gachagua, talk to Kalonzo. Raila is in. Of course, if Raila is in, Azimio is in. Azimio is Uhuru Kenyatta. You get?
Yes.
And they have no option. If they want to win together, they must be together. If they don't unite, it is going... This is the possible last term for the legacy politicians is 2027. 2027, 2032. After that, no legacy politicians. After that, no kingpins.
I'm waiting to see how it will be.
That is the revolution, because the reason why we have taken through that is to see that before 1969, there was the revolt of Oginga Ondinga. How did they deal with it? They formed a one-party state. de jure. That one prevented politicians from having ambitions. When Moi came into power, 2 years after, actually 4 years, because he was elected in 1988, he ruled in 1989, 1990, 1979, because he was elected in 1978. So 1970, 1980, 1981, 1982, there was a coup, which now destabilized and started now having another pressure on the government to become. Now, after 1992, they went now into multi-party, but they realized, no, we have to join. And that is why in 2002, now coalitions were introduced. But it was not to last. The death of Kijana Wamalwa now destabilized the NAC government. And then, of course, there was now the 2005 referendum that now led to 2007. Then after 2007, there was 2010, okay? Combined now with the two post-election violence now that went to 2013. 2013 to 2017, we were stable. But now, after 2017, Raila comes together with Uhuru. 2022, after 2022, Ruto is here with Raila again, and they are finishing the opposition. So why are they finishing the opposition? Because the opposition was of legacy politicians. The system was of legacy politicians. They cannot continue opposing one another when there is a generation that does not recognize them. They have a common problem. Yes, the new generation. So they have now to unite to do the last lap together. And that is why in 2032, all legacy politicians will go home. And that is the other revolution. So if William Ruto is going to have a second term, it is not going to be easy for him. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Daktari.
Yeah.
We have walked the journey of Kenya before multi-party democracy, after multi-party democracy, and now we have walked through the present. We have talked through the future.
Yeah.
And thank you for staying tuned. Allow me read some comments here before we proceed.
Yes.
Health Coach TV is saying that he is following keenly and asking a question that, can you tell us a brief history of Saitoti and how he died? And he says that rumors says that he was killed in a helicopter crash because he wanted to be a president. Is it true? Or my history teacher was biased?
I don't think there is a history teacher who can teach that because that is subject to investigation. What we know is about Saitoti, you cannot capture really what happened to him. Of course, he had ambitions to be president. Of course, before he died in parliament, he went to parliament and exposed some drug barons. Okay. So, and he named some people. So we never know who is saying the right thing. So, but we cannot say that this is what made him die, blah, blah. We have heard many people die. In fact, with him was a very good person, Ojode.
I remember.
Yeah. Ojode was just collateral damage, but he was a good man.
But also in the current Kenya, Daktari, we have seen some people being silenced through abductions. Is it history repeating itself?
Abductions have always been there. Yeah. So abductions have always been, it's not new in Kenya. Abductions have always been there in civilizations.
It's a way of silencing the upcoming leaders.
The world is competitive. The world is competitive even of politics. I know even Charles Darwin said there is the survival for the fittest.
For the fittest.
Only the fittest. Even during the migration, the migration of the wildebeest. I don't know whether you have ever watched them. Not all of them arrive in Serengeti. They live, others are eaten by crocodiles on the way, others are captured by lions. So some of these things are neither here nor there. And of course, we have no authority to now start talking about that. Because we have not done any investigation. But for us, actually, it's just to talk, to analyze politics as they are, and not to start discussing investigations. We can leave maybe that one to investigative agencies. Yeah.
Another question here from Wayne. Anauliza, Daktari, do you think that come 2027, by any chance, would President Ruto step aside and say, Raila tosha?
He can't.
Kwa nini?
Imagine Ruto saying Raila tosha.
Ati,
So,
si Raila akuwe president.
what will make him step down? People should not be deluded. If they want to remove Raila, make sure, they want to remove Ruto, get your vote, make sure you vote. That is the only way. But don't get these delusions, oh, he can step down, oh, he can do this. He can't. Not Ruto. And which president can step down for just like that? No, he can't.
I don't think there is.
No, we don't need a prophet to prophesy over that. That one, he cannot. He cannot step down.
Daktari, you have also said that in the past, coalition or party used to come together so that they can beat the common enemy. Do we see upcoming parties join together so that they can remove Ruto come 2027?
Which parties will come together?
We have the DCP, we have Kalonzo's party, we have
Matiang'i has no party.
We have other party. We have also the rise of the Kenya Kwanza. Kenya Moja, sorry. Will they come together?
Kenya Moja is a party?
So, upcoming alliance.
It's an alliance. So they are already an alliance. DCP and Kalonzo, they are already an alliance.
So we
don't have to predict that they will come together. They are already together. What we should be asking is whether they have enough force to remove the current regime.
Okay. Thank you so much, our viewers, for continuing viewing. Health Coach TV pia anauliza, Daktari, do you think the politicians we have today have let this country down? They have let our past leaders down. I bet Jomo Kenyatta, Tom Mboya, and others are turning in their graves. You know, Manisha Japo.
Oh, they are the Jomo Kenyatta, Tom Mboya, and they are saying they are turning in their graves. They were not different. Were they different, really? Ask people who were there during Jomo Kenyatta's rule. They will tell you Kenyatta was a dictator. They are not turning. They are resting peacefully.
It's like you said, politicians have the same DNA.
Yeah, they have been the same since time immemorial. Were there assassinations during Kenyatta's time? They were there.
They were there.
Actually, the first known record of political assassination was Agui Skodek in 1968 or something around there. 1969, 1968. Then other people followed. Tom Mboya was not assassinated during Moi's era, I don't think. Yeah, he was assassinated during Kenyatta. So what are we talking about? They were not different. Yeah. And no, King, let me tell you, people don't know that let me ask you, when you say in president, can you remember what instruments of power is given? One?
The sword.
The sword. Two? The constitution.
The constitution.
Ati Bible. Bible anashikilianga. One of the instrument is the sword. What is it for?
It means that I have handed over power.
To do what? Why sword? Why not? Why don't we have something like a shoe
A shoe
or
cannot.
microphone or something like mwiko? Kwa sababu sisi ama jembe. Why do we give a sword? What is the purpose of a sword?
To cut.
To kill. In fact, the only person who can kill, who has the power to kill, is the president. It is very controversial, but they should know why they give him the sword.
That's power.
The sword was given to kings. Okay? Was given to kings because a king was allowed to kill. But we still continue doing it symbolically. Okay, let me take you to the Bible because people do not understand. There was one king that God said, this is a king after my heart. Who was that?
King David.
King David. King David, one time he wanted to build the church, God a house. And God told him, you cannot build my house. Why?
You have blood in your hand.
You had killed so many people. So what was that? And he told him, I will have your son build it. And during this time, I will make sure there is peace so that he doesn't kill people. Because for you have killed so many people. Did God tell him because of that he will not come to heaven?
We don't know. We don't know.
Okay. Do you remember the covenant between Israelite elders and one judge, Samuel? Maybe people do not read it. The elders of Israel went to Samuel, the judge, and told him, please go and tell your God, we don't want to be ruled by a person we are calling king and we cannot see. We want physical kings like other nations around us. That is in Canaan. And Samuel took a son. Can you dare say that? So he went before God and God told him, they have not rejected you. They have rejected me. But let us have an MOU with these people. Enda waambie, huyo king wanataka. One, he will take their farms. 2, he will take your wives. 3, he will have your sons run before his chariots. Okay, stop there. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Have you seen our sons running before the of course we don't use chariots, lakini our polisi wana running before the president.
Convoy.
That is in the Bible. He will have your sons run before his chariots. He will take your sons to be in his army. 2, then he will tax you in order to feed his what? His army. He will tax you. Okay? Next point. So they were given all the points. Na wazee wakakuja wakasomewa wakaambiwa hiyo weka tiki. Atakuwa anachukua weka tiki. Atakuwa anachukua shamba zenu, weka tiki. Atakuwa anachukua watoto wenu anakimbia mbele ya charioti yake, weka tiki. Atakuwa anachukua anawatax, tiki. Na yote wakaweka tiki wakasema hiyo tumekubaliana, wakaambiwa basi. Samuel, go and look for a king for them. And he went and anointed Saul. And exactly what they were told, it happened. It is happening. And that is why if a king, and the king was now allowed, one king decided instead of kuchukua shamba, akakuta jamaa, alikuwa anaitwa Naboth, na shamba na akapenda. Badala ya achukue, akaanza kunegotiate. That is why he is the SI unit for wickedness. He started, badala ya angechukua shamba, because he had the authority to do that. Na ambia Naboth, enda pale, shamba ingine huko lakini hii ni ya, alianza kunegotiate. And in that circus, he did what? He had him killed, the wife of God. So Naboth would not have been killed unge-exercise your power. Another king saw another person's wife. But instead of taking the wife and announcing to the person, wife yako nimechukua, akaanza kuficha hivi. Na Akamuntiness was not taking the wife because the wife is the one even who now bore a king later. But the issue is you have the power, you are not using it. Okay, go back to the sword. Why do we give our president sword? What do you expect?
For him to kill?
So the you're saying in a way we have empowered the president. Is incidences to scare of abductions, deaths.
No, we are not empowering him. Of course, there should be no abductions. But the Bible says when you hunger your king, run. Otherwise, he will kill you. The abductions are bad. What if he calls you and shoots you? So anyway, human rights, under human rights, God has nothing like human rights activism, all those things, they don't work. But also, when we are talking about these things that we hand over to our president, we need to understand the powers that we give him. So wabadilishe hiyo sword ikuwe kitu ingine. Mpeni mwiko. But you see now, symbolically, he has the power. But under normal circumstances, he is not supposed to do that. Yeah. So, of course, I was not trying to justify that the president has the power to kill. But I'm trying to see where the tradition was coming from. And why we should not start complaining. Ati Mungu anamchukia anatosha ushuru. What are you saying? Muliambiwa. Your forefathers signed that MOU. They signed the MOU that he will be taxing you, that he will be collecting 10%. In fact, it is even stated the percentage. Read the Bible very well. It is stated you will be taking your farms. Ati ni mwizi wa mashamba. Mungu anawaonea mbali. Anasema ati munasema nini? Ati nini? Can you go back?
Wazee walipitisha.
Aliridi wazee wenu walipitisha nini? Ile ajui ni bibi zenu. Lakini hii mashamba. So anyway, what I'm saying is that we can complain. But sometimes we need to understand where we are coming from. Yeah, so for a person to be called president is not something that is simple. And maybe we will come and discuss here because William Ruto would not have become president. But he was pronounced president by Uhuru Kenyatta. Why? Because when you are president, your voice is the voice of God. Yeah.
Before we conclude, Daktari, your prediction for 2027 general election. Should we expect 2027 to repeat itself? Ama tutakuwa na a peaceful election?
No, we will have a very peaceful elections. Because we have no strong candidates. Elections are even, and I said here, just take an example of football. When is there high tensions?
When the two teams are strong.
When the two teams which are playing are strong. But when it is so predictable, one team is weak, another one is strong, there is no tension there. Yeah, because what tension will be there?
Any last word before we come to the end? Jasmine? You have nothing to say?
Yeah.
Talk to our viewers.
But of course, that knowledge is very important because now we will be exploring these things. The reason we have tried to scan from 1963 to now and those events that have defined bigger revolutions is because those things are the ones which are happening.
Yeah.
So we are already seeing the signs that Kenya is ready for a revolution. And the signs are so clear that if this revolution is not going to be violent, we are going to have a peaceful revolution in what we usually call it is actually called creative revolution. A creative revolution is where we have some structures in place that retires the old system peacefully and ushers in a new era. So we are likely to see that in 2032, that a new blood is coming on board, and the old, what we call legacy politicians, are going to be phased out by the structures and the systems of times and seasons. So they are not likely to be there. And it may not be violent as it has been. It is going to be a transition. Is just like in, of course, in politics and in economics, we usually have that creative transition, is a creative revolution. So that is going to happen.
And does it mean that the technology, the current technology and the AI, the social media will enable the smooth transition?
Yes, it will enable a smooth transition because this generation was not going to be violent. Yeah. In fact, they don't know violence, but they can be violent. Yeah. Remember, they have a new form of violence. You remember what they did with Uhuru Kenyatta? Mpaka he left all his social media.
Online violence.
That was a form of violence. Yeah.
Asante sana daktari.
Karibu.
Your last word, Pendo?
My last word is that it's good to know the history so that you can be able to predict the future. Yeah.
You have any word, daktari? We have come to the end of our show. Thank you so much for following us from the time we started until now that we have come to the end. I urge you that before we end, subscribe, like, and share our videos. Until we meet again, bye-bye.
Tumeenda masaa mingi.